Did you know that there's a powerful god whose throne is in the mountain? His throne is known as Kikuyu. He is the god of the Mount Kenya people. The Kikuyu people are known to be one of the largest tribes in Kenya with over 7 million people. They lived in peace with their fellow human beings, and they had no other god except Ngai, the god of the mountain. Ngai lived at the peak of Mount Kenya. They believed that if they didn't give him blood, he would get angry and send diseases and even death to their families. Today there are some people known as Kiama, which means the Council of Elders. They believed that this was the best time to connect with Ngai. They thought that there were dangerous forces around, trying to harm people, and the only way to stay safe was to follow Ngai's teachings. They believed that Ngai could communicate with them through dreams. They believed that when people did bad things or disobeyed Ngai's rules, they committed sins. Sins, in their view, were like breaks in the relationship between people and Ngai. It was like a wall between them and their god. If you visit Mount Kenya, you'll see that people from different communities come there to pray. Even though many Kikuyu people became Christians, some still held on to their old beliefs and ways of worshipping Ngai. They combined their new faith with their traditional beliefs in a unique way, showing how flexible and adaptable their religious ideas were. It's like they took the best parts of both belief systems and made a blend that worked for them. Some leave offerings at the base of the mountain, hoping Ngai will listen to their requests. Back then, their beliefs were based on what they experienced, and they didn't have the same understanding of the world that we have today. Also, please take the time to subscribe to this channel so you won't miss out on any of our future videos. As we look back at history, it's easy to judge different cultures by our own standards. But if we want to truly understand the Kikuyu people and their beliefs, we need to appreciate their traditions and practices in the context of their time. While a Ngai might not demand human sacrifices anymore, the Kikuyu people continue to show respect and love for the mountain and each other. They remember the importance of community, unity, and staying close to nature. And though they may have changed their beliefs, the deep connection to their roots remains strong. To remove this wall and heal their relationship, they needed to do something to show their repentance. And that's where the idea of sacrifices came in. They saw sacrifices as a way to repair the damage caused by sin. It was a gesture of apology and a way to seek forgiveness. He would send them messages and warnings, or he would tell them what to do. The Kiama were experts at interpreting these dreams. They were like dream detectives, trying to figure out what Ngai was trying to say. They would gather at the shrines with their Kiama leaders. The atmosphere would be filled with seriousness and respect. The Kikuyu people taught their children to honor their parents and the elders. They believed that these people held valuable knowledge and experience and should be respected and listened to. They knew that by honoring their elders, they were also paying respect to Ngai. The idea of appeasing Ngai was a big part of their religion. They believed that by following his teachings and doing what he wanted, they could keep him happy and avoid his anger. They thought that Ngai had the power to bring both good and bad things into people's lives, and they wanted to make sure they stayed on his good side. The Kiama would use this time to talk to Ngai on behalf of the people. They would ask him for blessings, protection, and guidance. The entire ceremony was filled with symbolism and tradition. Back then, people didn't have the same understanding of the world as we do today. They looked to religion and their beliefs to explain natural phenomena, the meaning of life, and the concept of the afterlife. Their beliefs and practices were deeply rooted in their experiences and the mysteries of the natural world. Sacrifices weren't just about appeasing a god. They were a way for people to express their devotion, seek his help, or thank him for his blessings. It wasn't just a simple ritual, it was a deep expression of their faith and devotion. These people are the ones who lead the Kikuyu community in matters of worshipping Ngai. Some people may call them pastors or priests. They are responsible for leading the Kikuyu community in prayers and sacrifices to Ngai. The Kiama play an important role in the Kikuyu community. They're like the leaders of the religion. Their job is to teach people about their beliefs and make sure everyone follows the rules. They also lead important ceremonies and rituals, especially when they want to ask Ngai for help or thank him for being good to them. The Kiama are respected a lot in the community because they hold important knowledge and experience passed down from their ancestors. They're like the keepers of their history and traditions. If you want to know more about their culture and beliefs, you got to go to them. The Kikuyu people believed that the blood sacrifice would appease Ngai and keep him happy. It was a way of showing respect and obedience to their god. To them, blood was like a special gift that showed how seriously they took their religion. Even today, some people from the Kikuyu community still believe in the power of blood sacrifices. By offering blood, they can ask Ngai for help or thank him for what he has done for them. And this is what Ngai told his son Kikuyu to go and create mankind. So Kikuyu descended from the mountain with some soil from the mountain in his loincloth. He went to a valley called Mukorawanyagathanga where he met his sister. And while on this journey, Kikuyu and Mumbi were chased by a ferocious lion, and they fled and hid in a cave called Kap. In this cave, Kikuyu prostrated himself before Ngai, asking for forgiveness for disobeying his orders to stay at Makawanyaga and not go anywhere else. When Ngai heard the cry of Kikuyu, he descended from the mountain to check on them. Seeing that they were scared, he reassured them and said, "Do not fear, child, for you have obeyed my word and stayed in the cave. which is a sacred place. You shall therefore be the ancestors of the first people on earth. Then Ngai blew into the water, which caused Mumbi to become pregnant, and later she gave birth to 9 girls and 3 boys. These people became the ancestors of the Kikuyu community, and so Ngai chose the mountain as the place where he would be worshipped by his people. Their main place of worship is Mount Kenya. The mountain itself is considered sacred. But why is this mountain sacred? What happened here in the past that made it a place of worship? In the olden times, before the coming of the white settlers, the Kikuyu people were living in harmony with nature. The Kikuyu built shrines all over the mountain, especially at the peaks and near rivers, springs, and caves. Some of these shrines were built out of stones, while others were made by placing 2 trees horizontally on 2 pillars made of upright stones. These shrines were places where people could come and make offerings to Ngai, and the most common sacrifice they offered to Ngai was blood from animals. Blood was a very important part of their sacrifice, because it symbolized life. By offering the blood of an animal, they were giving something precious to Ngai. This also showed their total submission to Ngai, since taking someone's life was a serious matter, only done when communicating with God. The Kikuyu people firmly believed that Ngai demanded blood sacrifices. Even after Christianity came to the Kikuyu land, some Kikuyu people kept on following their old beliefs and practices. When Kikuyu people wanted to make an offering to Ngai, they would usually do it at night. The Kikuyu people believed that if you did the right thing, Ngai would protect you from evil. In their stories, there's a strong message about respecting authority and listening to those who are older and wiser. Another important part of their belief system was the concept of sin and its consequences. It's important to understand the context and reasons behind these beliefs and practices. Today, the Kikuyu community is predominantly Christian, but some still practice traditional beliefs. As the Kikuyu community moved from a traditional tribal society to a more modern way of life, their religious beliefs went through changes too. So while it might be true that the Kikuyu people used to make human sacrifices in the past, it's important to remember that every culture and belief system should be understood in its own context. Alright, now let me ask you a question. What do you think about the topic discussed in this video? Let me know in the comments section below. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.